Requirements for politically exposed persons, PEPs. Managing politically exposed persons, PEPs comprehensive AML CFT requirements. Politically exposed persons, PEPs, are classified as high-risk individuals under AML CFT regulations due to their potential ability to influence government policies, affect public funding or procurement decisions, and access public funds. The AML CFT law and AML CFT decision provide a specific definition of PEPs, and financial institutions, FIs, are required to implement stringent measures for identifying and managing relationships with PEPs. The following outlines the key components of these requirements. 1. Definition of politically exposed persons, PEPs. Core definition. PEPs are defined as natural persons who are, or have been, entrusted with prominent public functions either within the state or in a foreign country. This includes heads of state or government, senior politicians, senior government, judicial, or military officials, senior executive managers of state-owned corporations, senior officials of political parties, individuals managing or holding prominent functions in international organizations. Extended definition. The definition of PEPs also encompasses direct family members, including spouses, children, spouses of children, and parents. Close associates, individuals with joint ownership rights in a legal entity or arrangement with the PEP, or those with individual ownership rights in a legal entity established for the PEP's benefit. 2. Risk management systems for identifying PEPs. Obligation to identify PEPs. FIs must establish appropriate risk management systems to identify whether a customer, beneficial owner, beneficiary, or controlling person is a PEP. Additional CDD measures. Beyond standard customer due diligence, CDD, procedures, FIs are required to take reasonable measures to determine the source of funds and source of wealth for customers and beneficial owners identified as PEPs. 3. Measures for identifying and verifying PEPs. Automated screening systems. FIs should implement automated systems to screen customer and transaction information against known PEP lists. Background searches. FIs should integrate thorough background searches into their CDD procedures, using resources such as manual internet searches, public or private databases, publicly accessible or subscription-based information aggregation services, commercially available background investigation services. 4. Evaluation of PEP's source of funds and wealth. Verification requirements. If a PEP is identified, FIs must take reasonable measures to establish and verify the legitimacy of the PEP's source of funds and source of wealth. Investigation of background. This may include reasonable investigations into the PEP's professional and financial history to ensure that their funds and wealth are legitimate. 5. Senior management approval for PEP relationships. Initial and ongoing approvals. FIs must obtain senior management approval before establishing a business relationship with a PEP or continuing an existing one. This approval is required each time the following situations occur. A customer, beneficial owner, beneficiary, or controlling person becomes or is newly identified as a PEP. A review of an existing PEP business relationship leads to updates in CDD information, either periodically or on an interim basis. A material transaction that appears unusual or inconsistent with the nature of the PEP's business relationship is identified. The beneficiary or beneficial owner of a life insurance or family takaful policy is identified as a PEP, particularly if higher risks are associated with the relationship. Senior management must be informed before the payout of the policy proceeds, and the business relationship should be thoroughly reviewed, with consideration given to filing a suspicious transaction report, STR. 6. Handling domestic and former PEPs. Domestic PEPs and former international officials. The AML CFT decision mandates that the same EDD measures be applied to domestic PEPs and individuals who were formerly entrusted with prominent functions at international organizations if the associated business relationships are classified as high risk for any other reason. Risk-based approach for former PEPs. For customers who are no longer entrusted with a prominent public function, FIs should assess the remaining MLFT risks based on factors such as the level of informal influence the individual may still exercise, the seniority of the position previously held, any link between the individual's former and current roles, example through formal appointment of a successor or ongoing involvement in the same substantive matters.